Hello. Welcome to DK Bowl Chat. Today, when we're done painting, it's going to look like this. So stay with me and see how it's done. I am going to start off by doing the clouds in the water. In order to do that, I need to have my sky wet. Now this is acrylic paint, so it's dry. So I'm going to put more paint on here, which seems like it's, you know, one extra step you don't need to take. For me, I'm going to do that because I want it to be wet when I'm putting it on there. And I'll be putting in white clouds. So let's get, okay, that looks pretty dark. I'm going to put it on there anyway and go over it with white. So there we go. I've got the blue, phthalo blue, red shade. And I'm just going to add, so my brush is dirty with the blue. I'm going to go into the white. There, I got white on there. I'm going to go right over it. And all the way one side to the other. If you stop halfway, it's going to leave a mark. So you don't want to do that. You want to go all the way over. And I don't want to take out my mountain right there. I want to leave that. But I can always do darker at the top if I need to. Again, what I don't want to do is go like I did on the side there. I don't want to go up and down with the colors because we want the top to be darker. I knew what I said I meant. There we go. Okay, so nice and dark all the way over. And then I'm going to wipe off the brush and blend the line. There's a little line between the two. Now, just pull one side to the other. And then I'm noticing I've got a lot of dark. I need it to be a lot lighter at the base. So I'm going to grab some white and blue. Still the same thing. Phthalo, blue, red shade. And I can go right over that mountain and take it right back off with a Q-tip. So let me get the white on the base. There we go. Yep. We'll do it right over that mountain. Well, it might not look so bad. It might look more like water. Clean you off a little bit and get some more white. Or a light blue, real light blue. Yeah, I'm glad you're here with me. Welcome to my channel. I love to paint, and today we're working on Mount Hood, but it could be any mountain. This is Mount Hood out of my mind. It's not, I mean, that's not a place. This is Mount Hood from what I remember of it. So yes, because I'm playing, this is more of a playing painting. I'll probably sell it, but it's still more of a playing painting and I enjoy it so much. Okay, so I could take down the water if I want to a little bit, although I'm not disliking it that much. I might add white to it later, which we're going to have white on a little fan brush. So that was my 1-inch brush, which I'm going to put on the, I'm going to do another thing too, okay? I'm going to put right about here the supplies that we're using, so you can check out the list, and then that way you can paint with me. Okay. All right. I want to do the clouds, and I want to do them just like that. So I'm going to turn it upside down. Like that. And yeah, that water looks pretty good. It looks like water for sure. Move this over here. And I'm going to switch brushes to my fan brush. My little mini fan. I need to make sure my 1-inch brush is kind of rinsed off. It can still be a little bit dirty. It doesn't matter. You just don't want it drying like that. And today is not as warm as it has been, so it'll be fine. Okay, I'm going to load the white on here. And I'm going to go right into the wet blue. So this is definitely a wet on wet technique. So that's why I had to repaint the background. And then I'm going to look here for my cue as to where to put the clouds. And they are coming up behind the mountain there. So I can put a little bit of, I'm just going to start putting it in here as if that cloud doesn't go down to the mountain, but I can make it go down to the mountain. And it goes up a bit. So it goes up above the mountain. If I look at the height here, it's above it, like so. And I'm just going in little circles. And when it's in the water, it doesn't have to be perfectly like the picture. Just enough to give the illusion of that. I'm going to go up a little higher in the sky and come down. Just going in little circles. And you don't have to hold your brush like this. You can do it like this, whatever you want to do. That's not the technique. The technique is using the corner of the brush and going in little circles. Now I'm watching where this ends, and I'm going to stop doing this and do the other one. There's another one there. Line that up to the mountain. There we are. And around the side, you want to remember the sides. And I keep thinking I need to not get my sleeve in this paint, but this is dry. This is the sky. It was dry from last time. This is the wet paint. So, and it's making the illusion of the reflection of the sky in the water. There's one of them. You know, there was one behind it, so let's get that one in too. I go back into white. And what's cool about doing a reflection in the water is that, like I said, it doesn't have to be exactly like the picture, but also there's reflections of the surface of the water that you can add in later, so it's going to make it look fine. It's not going to stand out like it doesn't belong there. Okay, we got the other one in. I need to blend it out a little bit more because it's faded right here. And it goes right up to the top of that mountain, which I can't see now because I put the water over it, but it's fine. Got a very faint one, so I don't need much paint on that. I'm going to come right above the mountain and put a little faint cloud. Just a little guy. And then there's this guy way in the back, which I didn't do. I should probably have done him first, but that's okay. We'll get it. We'll get it in there. Very faded, so I don't need much white. And it goes up and above where this one is. So I'm going to go up and above. We're just going to have our reflection cut off. Less paint. I just wiped it on the tip. I'm going to just go in little circles, work across. Not going to worry about picking up that other cloud. Yeah, next time I would start with that very far one. So if you're watching this once and then you're going to come back and do it, start with the far away one first and make it pretty faded, because in this picture it's faded. Yeah, so I'm just cleaning off the brush a little bit, and I've got another backup fan brush ready. And again, you'll see that on the supply list that I go over. Okay, it's going to go, it stays up there, it's not going to come down. So we're going to go in little circles, work my way across. There we go. That's more like the look I want. And then lower. I'm going to come lower. Right in here. And it's going to come over to here. I want to go to there. So we're going to get a little bit more white. And then I'm going to blend out this part because this is going to dry. I don't want that to happen. And here we go. Good, because it's darker here. And it's also darker right at the base of these guys, so I can thin that out a little bit. There we go. Yes. And I can make it look more like water by pulling through it. And I'm going to do that with the 1-inch brush. Now I cleaned it off somewhat. Show you. Get this little hedge here, and then we'll go for it. We're going to go for it. Let me flip it around so you can look at it in the real example. Yes, okay, we're doing just fine. This has been rinsed off, so it has very little paint on it. I'm just going to pull through this and let it, and my goal is to make, if any lines are showing on here of brush strokes, I want them to be gently pulling through here. I'm just going to let those lines be sideways. That's water. That is how it's going to give the illusion of water, okay? Yeah, we don't need to worry about it being 100% perfect as to what this is in the sky. Obviously, there's not enough room here to do all that. And the reflection distorts usually a little bit, so Just pulling straight across. Water finds its own level. We need to make sure that the lines that I'm making are level. I don't get out of level, but I just make sure they line up to the bottom or the top. I think there's some more paint needed here, and that would be coming out to here. Gonna just get that in there. And I'm doing it upside down, so this will be fun. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect is overrated. And it steals the joy. I just, you know, things are perfect in their own way. I'm gonna go right in here too and get this guy back, that little guy back. I don't need it to be 100% like that. I'm just gonna get it enough. There we go. We will just spin it in circles until it blends into the background a little bit. Yes. I'm going to start at the one side and go all the way over. Now last time I think I picked up in the middle and started. It's okay. I'm just going to show you. What you don't want to do is stop halfway through, I think, is the main thing. And I think I'm picking up some blue here somewhere. I'll go right back over it. There we are. And when somebody looks at their painting, looks at your painting, they're not going to say, hey, your reflection, something's up with the reflection, something's off. Because it's going to be fine. Also, when you're doing still water, the other trick I learned from Bob Ross, this is acrylic. Now I've transferred it to acrylic, so I'm doing it in acrylic. We're not using oil right now. But the only way I can go is either sideways or up and down. So I'm going to pull up into the water, and it's just going to be reflections of the clouds. There we go. We'll just pull up nice and straight. Again, water is going to be level, and unless this is a really windy day, you're not going to see the reflection rippling. You might on a really windy day, but since it's not a windy day, we're not worried about it. We'll just go with this, and I'm going to pull through that the other way. Again, I'm not going all the way to the side, but I'm also not stopping in the side, which I'm trying to recommend you don't stop. Don't pull part way through and stop. Let me see if I've got this. Yeah, we'll get that guy there. I'm pulling through I see a line here and I'm pulling through it. It could be the cloud reflecting in the water. Also, I'm going to put more reflections in the water in a minute here. So what I want to do to make the water, well, especially where the trees are, is I want to first make sure that my clouds are enough, that I've got enough of a cloud representation here. And I'm thinking I can pull that down a little bit and make it less of a vivid line. Straight. We're going straight. Yep, and then side to side. Nice. But I can take off some of the water right here with this brush, because what it's going to bring back is the mountain I had painted in the water before. That will bring that back more visible if I just use water on this brush. And I think there's more white on here, so I will put white on here from the mountain itself, and that'll be fun. I think right here I'm going to pull through it. I'm using the little round brush, but I want to just pull through that white line I put there. It's just where the cloud is. Okay. There we go. And I'm going to go get some more white. And I'm going to put in some white where there's the mountain. So right in here, put some white in there. I don't need it to be the exact shape of the mountain. I'm just going to pull side to side with it, which is going to give the illusion of water for me. It's going to help. And it goes all the way up, I think, pretty much. Yeah, like that. And then we'll go do a little bit more coming up to the top. And we got the little peak right about there. And then I'll pull through this as well. I have my trusty 1-inch brush. I'm going to pull through. And again, a little lower, and again. And where this really helps me is when I go to do the trees. So I'm going to put a little bit in the water where the trees are. And what I was talking about before, I recommended that we are going to paint white on where the surface of the water is on the shoreline. And so to do that, I want to make sure I got it straight. I have some blue tape, and I'm going to tape that on there and check my level. And I eyeball it. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. So I will go over the trees that are on the ground. There we go. And we're going to eyeball how much room do I have? Is it the same on both sides? I can't look at the image itself. I need to look at the tape and make sure it's pretty much straight. And you know, if you need to, I don't want to press it down yet. So this is 4 inches and 2/8. So it's 4 and 2/8. What are we over here? Oh, we're right on. It's 4 and 2/8. We're good. This is good. I'm going to press it down. What you don't want to do with tape when you're doing this kind of thing, you don't want to leave this taped up, you know, overnight, a few weeks, and then try to come back and paint on it. So if you're painting on paper instead of a canvas, the tape may stick to the paper, and you don't want that to happen. So I would recommend doing a canvas if you're going to do this picture, this image with me. I'd recommend definitely getting a canvas. I usually go to Blick and get their Premiere series. I'm not getting paid to say that yet. I mean, maybe in the future I will. Check with me in 10 years, but right now I'm not getting paid to say that. So it's just what I use. They're really nice canvases, and you can't go wrong. Dick Blick and we have a store out in Beaverton, and I definitely use those each time. I had a friend tell me about it, and I have stuck with it ever since. So what I want to do is put in the white line. I'm just going to make it easy for you. So I'm just going to put a little bit of white here and there, and I'm going to pull that across. I'm painting from the tape down. Yes. We'll just get a nice white line. And you know, you could do the line all the way across. I'm going to wet down another fan brush and go right over that. And I need to not rest my hand there. I can rest it in the trees. Yeah, I'll rest it in the trees. You pull that across. Nice and straight. Nice and straight. We'll see how much of a white line it leaves, huh? I may have to do it with a finer tip brush. But yeah, I'm going to put that in. I think I mentioned in the last video that I keep a really strong control of what I think about in my mind. And what I allow myself to think about is, this is going to work great. God is with me. This will work great. I'm enjoying this, and I'm enjoying painting with Holy Spirit. So this will be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, I'm just going with that. I don't allow myself to think any negative thoughts, because that doesn't get me anywhere. I don't have any white on the green there. Let me put it there. So I tried to mention that. I think I mentioned it in one of the other videos, but not in great detail. So now I've gone in great detail. I've learned to do that since I started painting. Not the detail part, but the thinking about good things, thinking about what's noble, what's pure, what's praiseworthy, thinking about what's happening, and enjoying the process. And I think that's key to being an artist, is enjoying what you do. Yeah, so I keep a good strong hold on my thoughts. And they do not veer the wrong way. Because I want to keep honoring God and painting. So yeah, I think it helps a lot. Like I couldn't imagine not doing that, you know, or what that would do. Okay, we're starting to dry up here. Let's get it moved. Let's move that. Move that paint. There we are. There we are. And these trees are probably a little too wide for what they should be at the distance that they are. But who cares? I'm going to keep them like that. They're evergreens. I like evergreens. And I debated putting a large tree in the foreground. I don't think I'm going to. I like blue. I like blue a lot. So I will just leave it blue. I wonder if there's enough underneath here. There probably is. You know, and then I need to check and make sure it didn't leave a line underneath the tape. I'm going to go into the white and use a very small brush to touch up a couple spots. Now that I have my level confirmed, I don't want to touch the sky. I want to put my pinky down, but I'm not going to do that. And just balance here. I'm going to always make it thinner. It's better to just do one stroke instead of going back and forth and back and forth. And that's a big one. I'm going to make that smaller. And again, that was big. Now I was pressing down on that. You don't want to press down either. If you have a hard time thinking positively when you're painting, practice all day long. Practice only thinking of what the, best case scenario is going to be. Practice that and it will get easier and easier, and pretty soon it will feel foreign to think anything else. So yeah, that's what I do. I'm very good at it. And I hear when people speak to me, if they're not being positive, I hear it. And I usually don't hang out with that type of person because it drains my energy, and I don't like that. So I don't judge them. They're who they are, but I stick with people that are positive or think positively or think, yes, I can do that, or yes, this is going to happen. That is who I am with on a regular basis. So sometimes it's just God, and that's okay. It's okay. Other times I have many friends at church. But yes. The Bible tells us what to put our minds on, what to think about. And yes, that's what we're supposed to be doing. And there's a reason for it. There's a reason God tells you that in the Bible. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, whatever is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Getting the white over the side here. I still have to do my sides for the green. Now let's check it and see how it looks, okay? I'm going to go back here and peel it off. I'm going to have the unveiling here. Let me see if I can get that. Let me get it. Maybe a knife, huh? There we are. Let's see how that water looks. Oh yeah, it's looking good. Although there's a little bit of, now it's looking like snow up in here. We can take that out. Same technique I did in the water. only we're going to be coming from the other direction, like so. Get the ruler out of here, like this. There we are. And it doesn't need to be a big white line. It needs to be just enough to give it. Now I can rest my hand. I can just lay my hand out on there. Let's get it to move. It will move. So that's one thing I'm thinking right now, is this line's going to move where I want it to move. Controlling your thoughts is a part of being a Christian, I think. Controlling what comes in and doesn't line up with what the Bible says. Yeah, filtering that through the Word of God. There we are. So if you have somebody that's not filtering their words through the Word of God and they're draining your energy, pray for them. Pray for God to bless them, because He will bless them with what they need. His Word tells us that, so that's what we're supposed to do. And that's what I do. I have a lot of people I pray for, which is good. It's a good thing. I'm going to come here and move this down. Yeah, I just took out some of it. We'll make it thinner. There. I could use a small stiff brush. That would be beneficial right about now. This one's not stiff enough, I don't think. This one's, let me see, can we move? No, it's too floppy. Let me get one that's stiffer. And it's a pointed round, but it's got a buzz top here. It's chopped. This one pushes paint really well. And they come in a set of, like, I don't know, is it 12? Yeah, I'll have to look it up and see, but I think I got it at Jerry's Artarama, but it works great. Do you see it pushing the paint? You just want to get on the correct side to do it. This side I want to be thin also, and not going up into the trees. And then I can touch up the trees with green, which I have. But also in the water, I want to put a little bit of white lines as well. So I'll show you. Let me see if I can get that guy here. Get this little bit of white. I don't want it to look like snow, or it could be little things on the shoreline, but you're not going to see that much detail from that far away. I gotta get the other side. Let me flip it around. I know I did this already, but I'm seeing a big chunk of it right here. Today's the day to do it. Otherwise I have to paint green over it next time, because it'll dry like plastic. I'll move it across. It could be misty at the shore. There we go. We can just make up a story as we go. Could be a misty right at the base where the tree's trunk is, you know. So I've got this one. I see it. I'm gonna make it smaller. Let's go. We'll just keep flipping this around. Don't get dizzy. Just hang with me here. I'm gonna make that line. No tape. And make it smaller with this brush, my paint pusher brush. There we are. And it's making it even smaller than the other one was. But yes, this is going to make it look like water from a distance. And again, the credit goes to Bob Ross. I learned that from him. But it was oil paint, so I switched it over to acrylic, which is a-okay with me. I don't think I'm going to do oil over this. I like the way this one turned out so far. So in the water, what I want to do is put in just little bits of reflections on the surface. I want it to be nice and straight. I don't want it to be, well, that could be something. What's in the water? Is there a white log floating? No, I don't want it to be that. I also don't want that to match and have it go straight across. I want to have it in different areas. I'll do that, and it's going to go right into my reflection there. It's okay. It's just where the water is moving a little bit. Plenty. Now I can thin them down, same way. I just need to move quick because I kept going. You want to probably stop and thin them down while you're doing it. There we go. To make them look like the surface of water. We're going to make them pretty thin. There we are. And yes, I will dish up some green. I'm going to dish it up. and I will paint the trees again where there's missing down in here. I could also do some brown. I just don't, brown and green maybe, some olive green. I don't want to have it be too detailed. We're not going to see anybody standing over there. Yes, they're small trees, but they're in the distance. They're small, wide trees. There we go. We're going to come from the other side too on this one. For now, I'll get that. There we go. That's pretty lined up. And same here. I have students tell me as they're painting, it won't move. If you can avoid it, try not to think that way, because anything you do today could be removed. If I wanted to wash it all off, I could wash it all off today. How do I know that? I've done it. I've done it in the past. The students that have changed their mind, the way something went, they want to change it, they can just wash it off, it's fine. And it works great. And you can start over. Oh, I'm leaning into the wet paint. I don't want to do that. Let's make you a little bit thinner. So don't let yourself think it's not going to happen. Know that it's going to happen. There we are. There we go. Picking up some green too. That's surprising because it dried last week. Okay, so that's going to help give the illusion of the water, because we've got little white bits here, and I could put more out here with a damp brush. I'm wiping it on the tablecloth, and you can buy the canvas tablecloths at Home Depot or wherever you choose to buy them. But it's real canvas, and it's got the edges sewn so that it's not going to fray. Let's get you from the other side. We'll do that. Yep. There we are. It's moving all right. We want to get it nice and flat. And you can also do this with a knife. Not this moving, but putting in the white line. I'm making sure there's no drips of water on the paintbrush I'm using. There we are. Go the other way. That one's a bit long. I think maybe it needs to be slimmed down a little bit. I don't know. We'll give it a shot. Make it just come out in parts there. There we are. All right. That's good. And I'm going to get some green to put on the trees. Yeah, I hope you're painting with me. Okay, I think that there's going to need to be green right in here, but I could also put more white in there. I'm just going to use a little brush and make let's make that one a little bit less. It's kind of much. I think it's much. There we go. We'll make it less. And you too. You're a little bit too much for what I'm looking for. There we go. All right. Let's make the green correct in the painting and put it right here. I'm going to put some in. So I'm going to get some Hooker's green. I'll rinse these guys off so they're not drying like that. I'm painting right up to that line. I don't need it to be white on the ground anyway. Right, I'm going to turn this. This is going to be better for me to do it coming from this angle rather than coming straight down. I love Oregon. I think I've said that before, but I love evergreens. I love the trees. I love the mountain. We can see St. Helens from here, a little bit of it. And, you know, I just love it. It's beautiful and brings me peace. I get outside as often as I can. Lately it's been to pull weeds, and lately it's been working on the lawn. But planting plants. I just love nature, and yeah, I love photography. I have a lot of hobbies and passions, but I focus on painting daily if I can. I think that's what God put me here to do, so I'll continue to do it. Yes. Okay, I'm going to make sure that the green is good on the bottom too. This is the reflection. Let's get you around. It looks pretty good, but I could also add more clouds in that reflection there, but I need to do it while it's still wet if I'm going to do that. I'm not too concerned about it. It's good enough. I don't think it's not going to stand out as not done or incomplete. Good enough is good enough. Yeah, so this green doesn't have to go over all of it, and I'm going to bring it off of the white because it's making the white turn green. Right here. Take the green off. There we are. But we're going to make it look like water. Just make it thinner. Get the other side. There could be a boat dock over there. I don't want to distract from nature, so I'm not going to put anything in there. Like a boat dock. There we are. A little bit of green right here. I need to make it white again. I was going to say that too. I have memories of when I used to do the Saturday market, and people would come in and they would say, "How long did it take you to paint that painting?" And I would tell them, "Well, I think it was about 6 months." "Wow, you must have a lot of patience." And I'm thinking, what are you talking about? It's either this or eat chocolate at the time, I mean, things I enjoy doing, yeah. No, why would I not paint if I enjoy it, So it didn't make sense to me, but to them, I think they don't paint, so they think it's going to be tedious and time consuming when the process is so relaxing and enjoyable. Okay, I can't rest my hand here, so I'm just going to come down and over. Do it freehand, right? And I can sign this art too with my autograph. No problem. And I think it would be good in blue. Might as well, right? And do I have any other parts I need to fix? Let's see. I could do the water. Like I said, I could do more reflection in the water. For instance, like right here, I could try that, a little bit of it. Not much. Just if it comes in like that, it's going to be right on the top. But it still needs to be able to pick up the background. And then you are the second one, and you're going to come in a little bit more. We'll just do you upside down. And then that one too. Going to pull through it. And I'm gonna bring a little bit more down here. Just, now I'm nitpicking. I need to stop, right? It's not that big of a deal. I can put my autograph in there and call her good. Get that, there we go. That'll be good. That's just the reflection. And then a little bit in here was what I was gonna do. Would bring you down, there we are. And you too, can come down too. There we are. It's matching what's up in the sky. And as long as we get to it before we leave today, because if it dries like that, then you'd have to do the blue water. Well, you wouldn't have to, but good luck with it, because it'll blend a lot easier if the water's wet. That sounds funny. If the paint of the water is wet. Let's bring a little bit of highlights in and down. There we are. Reflections. Yep, enough. Rinsing it off. I'm gonna go back into it. I don't want a puddle of water in here. So you want to make sure you wipe off your brush on the table. Yeah, that's good. And then the white could go down to, I know, I'm doing it again. Okay, we're gonna just get a little bit of white and put it at the base, and then we'll call it good. And I'm gonna sign my name right in here. It's a little bit of white right where it meets the mountain. It's not on the mountain, it's right where it meets the mountain. Rinsing that off. I'm going to use a brush and pull through it. I wonder if this fan brush would work. It probably would. Let me try. Wiping off the excess paint. Yes. Wiping off excess paint. And I don't need it to be so white, so I'm going to pull up. Make them reflections. Wipe it off and do it again, side to side. Not all the way over. I'm just doing this corner. Pulling. As long as I touch and pull through, it's good. I just don't want to stop in the center. Yeah, I'm going to use a small round to sign it. It's the smallest round that I have in the brushes that I'm recommending for today. I'm going to bring it over here, turn you sideways so I can get the right angle. Almost looks like white. It's pretty close, it's a light blue. Giving some more blue in it. There we are. I don't need to fade it out on there. It's on there and it's good enough. All right. Well, thank you for joining me today and painting the rest of Mount Hood with me and getting our reflection in the water and touching up any trees. Yeah. I'm glad you were here. I will see you in the next video. And God bless you, my friend.